Woo. Oh my God, we're back. We're back. Sorry about that. All right, Jeff. What's up, Baldy?
So like I was saying, no. Basically, I'm getting more and more used to it. You know, I had a talk with D-Mac. Yes, we are. How you doing? Good.
How does it feel to be bald for the first time? First time ever doing the haircut, right?
Okay, so number one, I blame Michigan for this.
No, you should blame yourself. Accountability.
Yeah, you're right.
You did it.
Next time, I learned a valuable lesson in life, and that is, don't write checks you can't cash.
Well,
and I cashed it. No, well, I did now. So lesson learned. Damn, this is tough. This is tough. But you know what? It's okay. I got my Amon-Ra St. Brown jersey on. I'm ready for Sunday.
Big game.
Big game.
Sunday
Huge
night football.
game.
Lions 1-8 all time in Sunday night football. So
why'd you have to
take it? Take it for what it's worth. It's a big game. Might be Aaron Rodgers' last game in Lambeau Field, man. There's a lot riding on this game. There's a lot of high stakes going into this game. I'm excited. It's going to be a great weekend. We got a lot to talk about. So here's the rundown for today. Here's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about Jim Harbaugh to open up the show because I want to get it out of the way. Made interesting comments yesterday about his future at Michigan. And then we got to get to the Detroit Lions Green Bay Packers game.
Mm-hmm.
Fish, you good?
So far, so good.
Is it me or is the stream a little bit laggy? Might be me. The hell do I know? Regardless, we got a good show coming up. 8:15, Jim Harbaugh. 8:30, the NFL is not considering an 8th playoff spot. What it means for the Lions, how they can get in. Their future will be decided, unfortunately, before they play the Green Bay Packers. So we'll get to that. Ben Johnson hoping that Jameson Williams would pick up on the offense a little bit sooner than later. But I got to ask you if you're concerned about the first-round pick, who's really been there all year, absorbing the playbook. Doesn't seem like he's ready, protecting him. God knows. We'll have the conversation. 9:15, we'll get to key matchups. We'll go around the NFL. And then, of course, we'll finish it up with best bets and our predictions for the game. But before we do, Jeff, I'm proud of you. You cut your hair like a man. You did the right thing.
Yes.
It's not an easy thing to do. And that's it, man. That's it. I'm proud of you.
Sometimes you just gotta, put them on a table.
It's a good look on an Italian. I think that's what you're missing, right? Like if you were Raj, that would look really bad. If Fish decided to, Fish, take off your hat.
Okay.
All right, look at Fish. So if Fish decided to go bald, or I would even say bald, buzz cut. Look at this.
Okay.
I mean, imagine that thing with no hair, right? It's bad enough we have to look at Fish every day. It would be even worse. Right? I'm just being honest here.
And by the way, real quick, I wasn't pressured into doing this. This is my decision. At first, I really didn't care for it. I was going to be like, you know what? Just kind of put this under the rug. But the more I talk with, it was really D-Mac and Terry and Neil, like actually talking with those guys. I know they poked fun on the show yesterday on Big D, or the previous day, excuse me. But the more I thought of it, I'm like, why not, dude? Screw this hair. It'll grow back. I ain't worried about it. I think it's funnier to say I cut it for Michigan. So now moving forward, I always have some dirt on Michigan now. Like, oh, remember when you made me cut my hair because you guys couldn't beat TCU. So no one did this. This was my decision, and I have no problem with it because it's my words.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, Jim Harbaugh's statement yesterday, I find it to be hilarious. I love when coaches do this. I actually prefer when they don't say anything because, to be honest with you, I don't get the outrage. I don't. If he says, I'm staying at Michigan, we'll get into it. What am I doing? We'll take a break. When we get back, Jim Harbaugh, Michigan Talk, and, of course, I got to tell you about where we're broadcasting live from today, and that's Planet Fitness. What are you waiting for? Get down here. We're giving away Pistons 76ers tickets. Not bad. Free pizza from 12 to 3. You can rub on Jeff's bald hair if you want. Up to you. I don't mind. Oh, goodness. And you can, of course, sign up today. $10 a month. What are you waiting for? Your fitness is essential. Go be like all these great people here. Look at them. Everybody's working out. They're all focused. They all got their day started on the right way. Come on. What are we waiting for? We'll see you guys in just a minute.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the three biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been, I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show live. Let me tell you about my good friends over at Bedrock Detroit. Downtown, decked out all winter long.
Ooh.
Roller skating, ice skating, puck putt, you name it, they've got it. Indoor, arcades, foods, drinks, you name it. Oh, goodness me. Monroe Street Midway, make sure you check them out. Can't wait. Jim Harbaugh makes a statement saying that he's going to stay as the head coach, and I'll quote it for you, Jeff. As I stated in December, while no one knows what the future holds, I expect that I will be enthusiastically coaching Michigan in 2023. And my question to Michigan fans is, what do you want? Do you want him to say nothing and then leave? Do you want him to say he's staying and then he's leaving? Or, which I prefer, the answer he gave, I expect to. You don't know what the future holds. He could have a change of heart and retire from coaching. He could have a change of heart and want to go back to the NFL. You don't know. So for him to come out and say anything other than I expect would be incorrect. I actually have no problem with the statement. And I think Michigan fans who are jumping on it and saying, see, I told you Jim's coming back, Jeff. Jim's coming. No, he's not. You don't know that yet. You don't know that yet.
Yeah.
You got to be patient a little bit, Jeff.
Yeah, you've already kind of heard that quote already, too. I will enthusiastically be coaching Michigan in 2023. But the way he uses expect, you're a smart man, Jim. You're a very smart man. Yes, because he's looking at the university. What other head coaches in the country have made the college football playoff in back-to-back years? It's Kirby Smart, it's Jim Harbaugh. Now, compare their salaries. So from Jim's point of view, I get it. He took the pay cut. He bet on himself, and it paid off. And now you're in a position where he's the hot commodity. He has the opportunity. He can go to the NFL if he so chooses. So the ball's in his park. So I don't mind, playing ball with Michigan by saying, you know what? I expect to be here, but you never know. I swear, I will say this because I still believe this. If the Colts call and Jim Irsay talks to Jim, I feel like that's the job for him. I think that job he would take because of how they're constructed right now. I know they don't have a quarterback, but in the Colts Ring of Honor, he wants probably an owner that's going to give him a lot of control, and I feel like Irsay would do that. But besides that, he probably will be back at Michigan. So those comments, they're not really far off.
What are the chances he comes back, right? I think they're pretty high. J.J. McCarthy, Donovan Edwards, it's a damn good team returning. They're going to compete for the Big Ten. The only game on their schedule next year that, if we're honest, maybe you look at and say that's going to be a tough one is Ohio State. They should be every other team on their schedule.
Right.
And actually playing the game and winning is a whole different conversation, which we'll do next year if he's there. And if he's not there, it doesn't even matter at this point. But the point is, Jeff, how can I be upset that he didn't come out and completely deny the reports? Like that selfish expectation. Imagine as a Michigan fan, Jim Harbaugh shows up and he tells you, I will 100% be the Michigan head coach come next fall.
Right.
And come next fall, he's in the NFL. You wouldn't take him as a man of his word. So, of course, he has to say, I expect to be coaching this team. Because
you never know.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Jeff, I expect to be doing the show with you next NFL season. I expect to.
Yeah, but
Now, could you lose your job? Could I get ran over by a bus? Could I go work at McDonald's? I don't know.
right.
You never know. Things change in life. I will 100% be back at me. Yeah, okay. Good for him. I'm actually with Jim Harbaugh on this. I'm glad he didn't say that.
Yeah, and that's got to come from a majority. I mean, Michigan fans are looking at it like, listen, Jim, you're a Michigan man. You committed to the university. Even last year, talking about how excited he is for the future. And I get, you're right. For the most part, in any workplace, usually it is, I expect. You don't commit to things you don't think you can commit to. And for Jim, he doesn't really know what the future holds. So I can't fault him for saying I expect to be back. I think just Michigan fans, from their perspective, it's frustrating because you're getting a year-to-year commitment from Jim Harbaugh with no replacement coming through the back door. So I get both sides. I'm not going to blame Jim for his statement. I get it from his perspective, but also I'm not going to blame Michigan fans for getting frustrated because it seems like Jim right now is a year-to-year basis. And recruits,
Well,
if you want to be able to
let's be
recruit,
honest.
that's tough.
Let's be honest. I'm Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
You're the AD. You're the board of directors. All of you. I walk in the office. We have a meeting. These are my last 2 years at Michigan. 25-3.
Yeah.
2 college football playoff appearances. 2 Big Ten championships. Mel Tucker at Michigan State.
Oh, God.
Nothing. See the contract he has? See the contract, what's his face? Lincoln Riley has?
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk. 'Cause last I checked, the last 2 years, I've put Michigan in the position to be in a college football playoff. I not only took a chance on myself, I understood the frustration from the university towards the performance of my team during the COVID year. I was willing to renegotiate. I came back to the table. I don't want to say he pushed away NFL offers the first year, but definitely the year prior to the COVID year.
Right.
And then you walk in and you say, all right, what's going on? What's going on, Jim? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. I am outperforming my contract. I have taken Michigan now to a level that we've never seen them at. And we got to either revisit the contract, and you give me a long-term deal, and I want to be the guy forever.
Mm-hmm.
And forever meaning the next 7, 8, 10 years, who knows. And I will completely never look at the NFL again. Or, if you guys don't pay, I know the Colts are probably going to interview me. Carolina already interviewed me. What are you guys waiting for? Like, if you think... And this is the one problem I have. And I don't know if Michigan fans agree with me. If Jim Harbaugh walks away, let's say, goes to the NFL, who's the guy? Because I really don't know. Is it on staff? Is it somewhere else in the country? Who is the excellent recruiter that is going to show up and be an excellent coach at the same time and compete with Ohio State, USC, in the Big Ten? Who? That to me is, if I'm Michigan, my biggest concern. We can knock Harbaugh for not being able to win the big game. We can knock Harbaugh for not having a college football playoff win. We can knock him for a lot of things. You can't knock him that he took your program to a level that it's never been at. And it was on the cusp of reaching a status it had never even touched before by winning a college football playoff game. Now, they lost to TCU, I understand that, but they were that close. Jim Harbaugh's got all the cards in his hands, if you ask me.
And did you see the NCAA violations that came out against Jim in Michigan?
I did not, no.
So I'll read this. This is on The Athletic. They write, Michigan faces 4 Level 2 violations and 1 Level 1 violation. The Level 1 violation, which is considered the most serious by the NCAA, is levied against Harbaugh for providing false or misleading information. The NCAA found that he failed to cooperate with investigators related to a Level 2 violation regarding contact with 2 prospects during the COVID-19 dead period. They also say the notice of allegations comes amid questions about Harbaugh's future at Michigan. Harbaugh released a statement Thursday reiterating his intention to coach at Michigan in 2023, though multiple sources close to Harbaugh said he would likely accept an NFL job if offered this offseason. So apparently stuff during COVID.
He was in contact with
2 prospects.
When he shouldn't have been?
Pretty much.
Wow. I bet you I can dig up every coach in all of college football doing the same thing. That's the story? That's the breaking news? I'm not mad at you. I'm just...
I know.
That's it?
Blame the Athletic.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's the outraging news this morning?
And they said it's the highest violation or the worst violation in the NCAA.
Yeah, like
level
Nick
2.
Saban and all these guys haven't been in breach of a violation before. COVID.
Yeah, go ask.
How long? When? 3 years ago? Now it's coming up? Whatever. That is not news to me.
Yeah, no.
That is not news to me. I could care less. That is the last thing on my mind. Jim Harbaugh, again, if you're a Michigan fan, 70%. That's the number. He has a 70% win rate in the NFL.
Oof.
4 years in the NFL, 70% win rate. Jeff, 3 straight NFC title appearances, 1 Super Bowl appearance. I mean, the guy is a winner.
Yeah.
Whether you think they dropped the ball or they choked against TCU is all irrelevant. Jim Harbaugh right now, over the last 2 years, has been the best coach in the Big Ten. Nobody can argue that. Nobody can argue that he is a very enticing prospect for the NFL.
And you got to think.
And if I'm a GM, if I'm an owner, and I'm not happy with my coaching situation, why don't I go pluck the guy who's been to 3 NFC title games, who's been to a Super Bowl, all within a short 4-year window?
Yeah.
You guys tell me.
And you got to think from Jim's perspective too. There's got to be that desire, right? You coach in the NFL for a short period. Not only do you win games, but you make it deep in the playoffs, right? 2 NFC championship games, made a Super Bowl appearance, lost by, I believe, only like a field goal against his brother, John. But that's got to sit with him. I mean, you go back to Michigan, but still you're thinking, well, what if I just tried it one more time? What if I went back to the NFL? I mean, he's going to be 60 years old. So, again, for Jim, I don't fault him for having these types of aspirations. I really do believe Jim wants to coach in the NFL before it's all said and done. So saying the whole statement of I expect to be back, I think that kind of just echoes what he feels, and I really don't have an issue with it. I would like to see Jim back in the NFL. I think for someone who had a short period, a short time frame where he had that much success with San Francisco, that's the guy who deserves another shot. I mean, think about it too. Out of all the coaches in college football, the Nick Sabans, he's the most successful NFL head coach. Like for a guy who's also having one of the better 5-year stretch in college football. So no one can question his ability to coach. You just can't. It's about what he wants to do, and I do believe it's the NFL at the end of the day.
My question for all of you in the chat, all of you Michigan fans, okay? What's the confidence level? Jim Harbaugh goes to the NFL. Is it still win the Big Ten this year? Curious, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a bigger deal. I'm not too worried about this report. Is to me,
no.
One, I don't have all the information. All right, so I'm not gonna make a statement or a judgment on it.
It's hard for us to speak on something.
And number 2, if the problem is he didn't cooperate or he wasn't willingly, having conversations with whoever was investigating, all right. I mean, we can get to that at a later time, but the reality is the NFL's in front of him, and that job, I think, that's staring at him is the Colts' job.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not the Colts can get a quarterback in there, he's won with Colin Kaepernick. He's won with Alex Smith. I don't think that's really an issue for Jim. Now, is the league ahead of him? Has it bypassed him? Who knows? But I think at the end of the day, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, back-to-back Big Ten championships, back-to-back college football appearances, how about we renegotiate my contract? How about we revisit everything at the table? Let's talk about the expansion of NIL. Let's find a way to get more recruits in here. And if you guys can sell me on all this, I would love to enthusiastically be the head coach of Michigan for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. Who knows? Mm-hmm. He's only 59 years old, so he's not going anywhere.
Right. And you got to think, too, with the landscape of college football, with the kind of, it essentially is free agency with the transfer portal, and Jim's been doing a great job. Michigan has. But on top of that, the NIL, the changes to college football, I mean, that has to at least sit with him as well with making the transition to the NFL. And I know people were talking about it in the chat, and I do understand the reason why he left San Francisco was his relationship with Trent Baalke.
Yep.
And that's probably going to be one of the deciding factors if he can get some control with the roster for any NFL team he's a part of. And that's why I keep bringing up the Colts. Because I feel like Jim Irsay, not that he would give, because Chris Ballard is a tremendous GM. I don't think he's going anywhere. But if you can make promises to Jim and give him a little more control than any other organization could, that might be the deciding factor. I really do believe that. I think the Colts job would be the most interesting to him
Well, let me.
I don't know
read this
though.
comment.
I don't know what Jim's needs and wants are. I just don't. I'm speculating.
Let me read this comment from Red Wings and Lions. I never cared for him anyway. Him being Jim Harbaugh.
Yes.
He was trying to look like Bo too much, and he ain't no Bo. You know what? To be honest with you, given Jim Harbaugh's bowl record, I think he's exactly Bo Schembechler. Because he loses all of them. If you ask me, I think Jim Harbaugh is exactly Bo Schembechler. Because all he does is lose the bowl games. So, you guys tell me. The guy's going to want a new contract, and that's it. End of story. Hilarious. By the way, Bo Schembechler, during his time at Michigan, 78% win percentage, by the way, Jeff. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. But let's take a break. When we get back, the NFL will not consider an 8th playoff spot. Adam Schefter shot it down. That is not reality. I'm not sure what Florio was hearing.
I know, he's talking out of his...
Look, this was the center of attention yesterday. Who would it impact? Who would get in?
Right.
That 8th spot. It would generate more money. That was the whole conversation, right? So now you have two factors going on here. One, how does it impact the Lions now that it's officially off the table? And two, what needs to happen? So we'll get to that in just a minute. But before we go, Jeff, I got to tell everybody about my good friends over at Cousins Maine Lobster. That's where I'll be having lunch today, by the way. The Maine Lobster Roll. Lobster tacos, my personal favorite. Clam chowder soup, you name it, they've got it. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit them at cousinsmainelobster.com. Check out where the food trucks are and try them out.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
All right, let me tell you about the official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network, and that is The Butchery. Order online, thebutcherysl.com. Sandwiches to die for, Wagyu meats, artisan breads. Chef Dave will take care of you and your friends. Check him out or give him a call, 248-682-COWS. That's 248-682-COWS. Jeff Iafredi, Adam Beydoun, live, woodwardsports.com from Planet Fitness out. Wow. Oh. I mean, this is awesome. We're in Southgate, off Eureka Road?
Yeah, it is massive in here. I mean, it's a big gym.
You got Big D Energy coming up here at 11 o'clock. Ermanni and Edwards coming up at 2 o'clock. We'll be here all day. Pizza from 12 to 3. Giving away Pistons 76ers tickets for this upcoming Sunday, I believe, the 8th, correct?
Yep.
So there you go. There you go. More incentive to come out here. But, Jeff, no 8th playoff spot. It's not happening. It's garbage.
Mike Florio.
Everybody who did a show yesterday and talked about it, meaningless. It's done. It's not happening. Having said that, it really would have benefited the Lions, but talk to me about the decision not to do it, because they've made the decision to make the AFC title game if it involves one of the teams that could have had the 1 seed, right? So they compensated that way. They're not replaying the game. They're not adding an 8th playoff spot.
The Bengals are the AFC
Did the NFL
champs.
make the right decision?
I don't think there is a right decision in this scenario. Like, this is such an anomaly. I mean, the DeMar Hamlin tragedy is something that we have never seen, at least to this magnitude. So I can't blame the NFL for the decisions they've made. I mean, in the circumstances that were given, They did what they could. I know it's a tough pill to swallow for a couple teams in the AFC. I mean, the Bengals, I believe, they're winners of the AFC. They were declared. So, and they play the Ravens this weekend. There's too many things the NFL has to work through right now in the 8th playoff spot. I didn't really understand it. That's why when I first heard it, I'm like, okay, interesting. And then when the reports came out that it was never talked about, it made sense to me because I didn't really understand it. All I was looking at it was through the lens of a Lions fan who said, well, we can sneak in through the back door. Sign me up. But the reality is how the NFL and how they've handled it, I'm fine with it. I think the Bills and Bengals, for everything they've went through, that game will not be replayed, thankfully. They'll probably rule it as a draw, and then moving forward, they're just going to have to take Week 18 and just see what happens. So I'm not going to freak out over the decision. Early on, people criticized the NFL, and for something like this that we had never seen, there's no manual on how to handle it. I can't really fault the league for doing what they're doing. There's no manual on
how to handle a canceled game. Will they get better? Maybe, but to me, there was no right and wrong here. There was move on. You had to move on. This game couldn't have been replayed.
Yeah.
You should not have rewarded teams on the AFC or the NFC side for what happened. I never liked the idea of an 8th playoff game. an 8th playoff team. So this is the reality. The neutral site, I don't mind. I like the idea of home field advantage. But again, how can you give home field advantage when one team has played one more or one less game than the other? It's complicated. Again, this is a tricky situation. It happens so late in the season, so you can't even flex around it throughout the rest of the year where, maybe you give them a bye week and that counts as their bye week, but then you cancel their later on.
Right.
You cancel the bye week later on in the year, you make them play. I mean, you could have done this a million ways, but...
And can I read this scenario for you? Because this is part of it, right? Like, I'm not going to fault the NFL for the decisions they've made, but let me read this off, and how does this sit well with you? Tom Pelissero tweeted out, the Bengals will be recognized as the AFC North champions regardless of the outcome of Sunday's game, per league source. A coin flip will end up deciding home field in a playoff rematch with the Ravens. But Cincinnati has the higher winning percentage and has won the title. And then Adam Schefter then tweets out, per the NFL, if Baltimore defeats Cincinnati on Sunday, and if those two clubs are scheduled to play a wild card game against each other, the site for that game will be determined by a coin toss. So, like, a coin toss is going to determine who has home field. This is where we're at right now. So, again, there's not really much to say about it.
So I'll give you an update in my league.
Yeah.
And Fish, if you don't fix my mic, you know what's going to happen. Let me give you an update what happened in my fantasy football league. Because I not that it matters to this, but it offers context of how difficult some of these decisions are. We had two guys. The guy walking in with Josh Allen and Jamar Chase going into the championship game. He was only down 16 points. Likely he's going to win that matchup, yes or no?
Yes.
I mean, you would expect, right?
It's him, yeah.
You're likely he's going to win it. And then what transpires is unprecedented. And, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, we just closed the book. Week 17's over. If they're not replaying it, we're closing the book on the week. And, your luck is really bad, but we got to move on. And I think that's the NFL is doing right now. We got to move on.
Right. And I think that's the correct way to approach it.
We can't make these guys play again.
Yeah.
It's the wrong decision. How it impacts seeding, I like the idea of a neutral site. It at least clears up any bad feelings of I could have or should have been the 1 seed. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if Kansas City doesn't make it to the AFC title game, it's on a neutral site, right? Because didn't Kansas City, they have the best record right now?
No. Yes, but no.
It's a neutral site regardless in the AFC title game.
It's likely, depending on the team that gets through, yes, but you expect one of those 2-3 teams to get in. It's the best 3 teams in the AFC, probably the NFL.
Right.
So if Kansas City is hosting, let's say, Cincinnati, that's a neutral site. If Cincinnati is hosting Tennessee, it's at Cincinnati. If Cincinnati is hosting Jacksonville, it's at Cincinnati. If Cincinnati is hosting the Bills, neutral site.
Gotcha.
If the Bills are hosting Cincinnati, neutral site. If the Bills are hosting the Jaguars, it's a game at Buffalo. If they're hosting the Chiefs, neutral site.
So the 3 best teams, neutral site.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is exactly how they mapped it out.
But that's got man.
I think it's fair.
It's fair, but that's got to be a tough
It's fair.
pill
And
to swallow.
if the Chiefs play the Jaguars or anybody else,
Yeah.
well, then they get home field. But you do not get home field against 2 teams who unfortunately could not play a game that could and would have given them possibly a number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
I can't play the what-if game. And that's the worst thing to do, is play the what-if game.
Imagine the neutral site be Ford Field. Just pitching that out there.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's not
The
gonna
Bills
be a
already
Ford
played
Field.
there.
I don't think it would be Ford Field.
The Bills
It
already
won't
played
happen.
there.
I bet you money it'd be
Deny.
LA.
Of course.
Well, yeah, it's in a new stadium.
LA. Ford Field's pretty cool. Bills will tell you that. They beat the Browns at Ford Field.
See, I think Ford Field is unfair because the Bills, if they played, are 2-0 this year at Ford Field. It's home field advantage.
Oh, my
God.
gosh.
Lions.
Yeah.
So how this all impacts the Lions, them not getting an 8th seed means, well, they got to win now, and they got to win and also hope that the Rams win, right? Because yesterday when this came out, the talk of town was the Rams can lose, and if we beat the Packers, we're in, baby. That's all that matters, right?
Right.
You get the top pick, and you get a playoff spot. Music to my ears. Now that it's not a reality, the Seahawks need to lose.
Yeah.
And that's going to cost a top pick, but I don't think many of you care because Brad Holmes is your GM. So we're going to move on from the pick. I would take a playoff spot over a top pick any day of the week. Having said that,
Twice on Sunday.
you got to beat the Packers.
Yes.
And that's a difficult matchup. 1-8 all-time on Sunday Night Football. Lambeau Field. It's the last time possibly Aaron Rodgers ever plays at Lambeau. If you just wanted to look at it from a historical side, take the fandom out of it. Take the support that you have for the Lions and the want that you have for them out of the equation. Looking at this historically, it's all aligns and favors the Green Bay Packers. It just does.
Yeah.
Now, do I think the Lions are going to give them a run for the money? Do I think the Lions are going to be a tough matchup? I mean, we're going to talk through the whole game the rest of the show. But when you talk to me about history, when you talk to me about, I don't want to say predicting the future, but hey, if I show up to work on Monday, do I envision this happening? Okay. Do I envision Aaron Rodgers putting on a performance that we've always known him to do in his final game potentially at Lambeau as they prepare to host one final home game in the playoffs because they would have, no, they wouldn't have hosted a playoff game. I apologize. They would go on the road and likely never play at Lambeau again with Aaron Rodgers. Do I envision that? To be honest with you, I kind of do. It sets up so perfectly for them. Think about it. Seattle can win. It doesn't matter. They win, they're in. And how else would you expect it? The Rams win, but the Lions lose, right? I mean, that's the typical way it's kind of leaning, and it kind of bothers me, but that's the reality, man. That's what's in front of you.
The biggest thing this team has, with all the youth they currently have, and the season they've went through, 1-6, to now what they've done, winning, 7 games, only losing 2. They're in a position right now, and they're playing in the biggest game of the year. I mean, you have Thanksgiving. That's a primetime game, I guess, but this is their first primetime game. You're facing Aaron Rodgers, somebody who's historically owned the Lions. You're playing with high stakes, playoff implications on the line. You go to Lambeau. Jamal Williams returns to Lambeau. You have an Aaron Rodgers who just, when this winning streak got started for the Lions, threw 3 interceptions. The Lions beat him, and that really vaulted them into winning the games they've won. So it's an exciting matchup. I got confidence in the Lions. I don't think anybody's questioning their will to play, right? Like Dan Campbell, what we've learned over the last 2 years is they could play anywhere. They could play at the YMCA, outside of the YMCA. They're going to be ready to go. So I'm not worried about the Seattle game. Obviously, it'd be much, much better to be playing for playoffs. But at the same time, just go beat the Packers. Either way, keep the Packers out of the playoffs. How about that? That would be great. Even if you don't make it, they're still playing for something. And again, Dan Campbell, I can already see it right now. His locker room speech. Go out there and lay it on the line. Lay it all on the line. It's the last game of the season. It's Aaron Rodgers. You've seen all the clips. They know. Jared Goff mentioned this, by the way, at one of the media scrums in the locker room. We've heard all of Aaron Rodgers' comments. We've heard it. So the team's aware.
Well, he's been very polite and cordial this week.
Of course he has.
I mean, he even threw out brand new Lions on the Pat McAfee show, right? He did it in the presser as well. So
I bet.
He's been very complimentary. He's been very professional. He knows what he's doing because the Lions team that is showing up to Lambeau Field on Sunday is a very difficult team to play against.
Yeah.
Is a very difficult team to game plan for. Now, do the Packers have more solutions to an average, below average Lions defense? Yes, they do. But I don't think they have many solutions for this offense. Not many have been able to figure it out all season, especially when healthy. So,
and I think another big part of it, too, is both these teams, this is why I'm so excited, too. Both these teams are night and day difference from when they first played each other. And you could tell by the score, 15-9. It was an ugly game. Lions found a way to win. The Packers since then are a different team, and the Lions since then are a different team. I would argue the Lions have been more impressive, but they've been in every game this season besides, what, you could say the New England Patriots, the Carolina Panthers, and probably the Dallas Cowboys after all those turnovers. So the Lions are going to be ready to go. I'm excited. It's a big test. I know people have concerns about this team on the road, the youth. But then again, it's like, hey, what do you have to lose? Go out there and lay it all on the line, and I think the Lions are going to be able to do that.
So now that my microphone is fixed, I just want everybody to know, can we get the camera on Fish? That man sitting right here is not responsible for it being fixed.
Oh, I thought you were going to blame me. I was expecting you to blame me.
I was going to, but thank you,
should've.
Fish. I appreciate it.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
sound like a robot anymore, so I appreciate it.
I thought you were going to blame me, and I was going to say I was
No, I'm
watching
going to be nice to you
cricket or
today because
something.
we're at a public outing, and I can't say some of the stuff I'd really like to say to you right now. So,
Well, we need to be public places every day.
no. We're going to take a break. When we get back, let's get into the Lions. Final game, potentially, for Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau. This is all being set up to what we just discussed. Now we got to talk about Ben Johnson, this offense, how they're going to travel to Lambeau.
Yeah.
They're going to have to put up points, man. That 15-9 win at Ford Field was good. Defense, excellent. Kirby Joseph, 2 interceptions. Aiden Hutchinson, an interception. You got a lot of really big-time plays. You're going to need some of those, of course, in Lambeau. But more than anything, you're going to need this offense to show up and deliver. That's the reality. That's going to be the end goal. So we're going to take a break. When we get back, more Lions talk coming up. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, tell them to head to thesma.com for more information.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
The Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play for $12, the unlimited open play. Or you can pay $120 for a lane reservation for up to 10 people. $2 mystery beer machine, full bar. Check it all out, FullingWarehouse.com.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com from Planet Fitness out in Southgate off Eureka
Yay.
Road. Have you ever been to Southgate before, Fish?
I don't think so. I've been to Wyandotte before.
This is my first time outside of my dentist that I go to. My dentist is off 4th Street, actually, right here.
Question for you.
Don't shake your head at me, all right?
Hold
What?
on.
I work every day. Where do I have time to just go out, huh?
Question
Where?
for you.
Tell me. Shake your head at me. I should throw this laptop at you.
question for you as we get prepared for Wednesday, where we're going to ask you 10 questions you must know.
Fish, I am not prepared. I'm not going to lie, because I'm probably going to bomb that.
Yeah, well, they're pretty.
I'm not ready at all.
Kind of easy. Anyways,
it's going to be awful.
Do you know what Did you know what Southgate is before today, or before we told you we were going here?
Are you going to give me at least like something to prep on, or no?
What, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come up with stuff on Monday for you to prep on.
Or are you just going to make me like go in with nothing?
No, I mean, I'll give you like hints of some of the questions.
All right.
But did you know what Southgate is before we told you we were coming here?
Yes, because of my dentist and where he works. He's off 4th Street, so I knew of Southgate. I've never been here on my own time outside of going to the dentist, so.
Okay.
You know, Stick got mad at me yesterday for this exact same thing. He told me I don't go out enough and I don't know where anything is. And I told him, you know what, you're right.
That's the problem.
I can't deny it.
But that's not even you not going out. That's somehow you not
Fish,
using
I
the
haven't
internet.
heard of half the cities that are right next to Birmingham.
Yeah, well, that's an internet issue. That's not you haven't been out. That's just you don't know geography, which is weird because you've been everywhere in Europe and Asia and Middle East, and you could tell me 50 cities in Lebanon.
I'm a horrible Michigander. No, I couldn't actually. I know 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same problem here.
I figured you've been all around Lebanon. Like they
Doesn't
know
matter.
you.
Doesn't matter. They know you. I love you, Fish. All right, let's get the show started. Fish, you having a good time, buddy?
Right now, today?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good day.
All right. Here we go, Jeff. Let's talk some Lions. Dan Campbell can make the ultimate statement, even if it means they can't even get into the playoffs. All right, I want us to talk about this game as if Seattle is going to win. Okay? If Seattle wins, you still have an opportunity to give an absolute dagger. Just put a dagger right in the hearts of every Green Bay Packers fan, Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers. You still have a lot to play for, and I like St. Brown's thoughts on this, where he said, if it's not us, nobody.
Yeah.
If we're not the ones winning that game and getting into the playoffs, nobody from that game is getting in. We're not going to let them beat us, even if it means Seattle already won.
Right.
We don't care. It's either us or nobody, and I love the mindset.
Yeah, no, and it's the correct mindset, and that's instilled from your head coach. And what this would mean for the Lions, man, if they win and they beat the Packers at Lambeau, obviously there's the significance, right, with the history of the Packers and facing the Lions and all the endings we had to witness. But more than that, the Lions ending with a winning record in the second season of Dan Campbell, being 3-13-1 to now 9-8, potentially 9-8. What that would mean, not only for the fan base, obviously everyone's bought in, but for the players to play in these meaningful games, to beat Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau on the road, to end the season, knock Aaron Rodgers out of the playoffs. That would be the ultimate statement. And on top of that, moving forward, how they build off of that is you're coming off a 9-8 season with a team that still has a lot of holes. Like, that has to give encouragement to any Lions fan, even to the organization and the coaches and players. Because moving forward, now it's how do we build on this, right? You're contending for the NFC North next year regardless. But if they end with a winning record, man, and Todd's right, going 5-1 in the division makes a huge statement for the future. And that's funny because we brought that up earlier this week when you beat the Bears. You were 4-1. It's incredible. That's what you want. You need to win divisional games, and Dan Campbell has shown this season he's been able to do that. He's winning games on the road. It's a big test on Sunday against the Packers on Sunday Night Football on a primetime stage. And honestly, man, even if they don't make the playoffs, just the hope they would continue to give would be something special. Name another coach that's done that in a rebuild in their second year. I'll wait. A Lions head coach in a complete rebuild that is able to go from 3-13-1 to 9-8 the following season after starting 1-6. It's impressive, to say the least.
It's impressive, and look, you know what? This is a team that started 1-6. This is a team at 1-6. You're questioning the coach. You're questioning the direction. You're trying to understand, how did we get here? Why are we here right now? How did we get to a point where a team we all believed that could be average or slightly above average at times is somehow one of the worst teams in the NFL? It never really made any sense. And you know what? They looked themselves in the mirror after Dallas, and to their credit, they buttoned it up, stopped making awful decisions. They did get healthy. That's a big factor in all this. And you know what? The coaches just really put it all together. Because for the first 7 weeks of the season, guys, it was the offense was clicking, but the defense wasn't. And then it was the defense showed up, and then the offense didn't. And then it was the offense and the defense showed up, but special teams cost you.
Yep.
And then it was all three phases of the game that would show up, but then your coach would cost you the game. There was always something in the first 7 weeks of the year where you were like, they're going to find a way to lose. And that's all they knew how to do. And then suddenly, Jeff, 7-2, going on the road, vanquishing your demons, beating Chicago on the road, beating the Giants on the road, smacking the living hell out of Jacksonville, beating your rivals in the Packers. You've won so many impressive games, and yes, you dropped a dud in Carolina. And I would have been more upset about it had you not followed it up and mollywopped Chicago. If you came out and played Chicago and it wasn't that good and you were just kind of average, doubt would start to creep in. But when you follow up a really awful performance against Carolina with that performance against Chicago, all right, I'm starting to believe there's some substance to this. So for me, going into the final game of the year, more important than anything, they've accomplished what, in my opinion, most had set out for them to be.
Yes.
A 7-8 win team. They've really found a purpose, a meaning, a formula under this head coach, which they really didn't have outside of what? Arizona last year? Like, they're giving you reasons to buy in, and that's all you can really ask for. Now, would you like to be the Giants year one? You go to the playoffs, Brian Dable, sure. But last year, I think we all understand that was a pretty bad roster. And the best thing for them was to suck. And this year, I bet you any money, you sit down with Dan Campbell, no recording, and you ask him, Dan, this season, did it go the way you wanted it to? He would look you in your face and tell you no, because we were not a 1-6 football team. What you saw when we were 7-2 is more of what we believe we are than what we were at 1-6.
Right.
And I think that's fair. And if you eliminate that bad start, you're talking about potentially a 10-win team. And we're not talking about, oh, is Seattle going to win and are they going to be in the playoffs and if we lose, if we win, yada, yada, yada. No, it's not a conversation. That's where I'm at with the Lions this year going into Lambeau.
And my biggest question, too, and I'm curious to see this, and we've done this multiple times on the show, is what version of the Lions are we getting? What version are we getting? Are we getting the Bears last week, or are we getting Carolina the previous week? Are we getting Jacksonville, or are we getting New England? Like, there's certain things. Even Packers. Last time they faced the Packers, it was at home, and the offense struggled. And as we know, the offense has been obviously the positive part of the team, but at home they've been tremendous. Packers had some answers for them. So, but again, they didn't have all their weapons. The team wasn't as healthy, so they had some excuses there. But still, what version of this Lions team are we getting?
I think you've seen it. I have a 9-game sample that tells me they found their formula to win. I also have, if we're honest, I also have a 7-game sample that tells me what they are or couldn't be or should be. I don't know. But what I do know is you don't win 7 games in 7 of 9, excuse me. Jeff, you don't win 7 of 9 in the NFL on accident. It's very rare that happens. That level of consistency. Now, whether you want to give credit to the schedule, teams and when you played them, I don't care. I'm not making excuses for this team. 7 wins is impressive. I don't care how you win the games if you win 7 of 9. There's no debating that.
And I love this comment too, Joey, 2 times. I want the Lions to thoroughly destroy the Packers so hard that the Aaron Rodgers retires out of sheer embarrassment. 6th-month ayahuasca journey incoming for Rodgers.
What is ayahuasca? I never understood that. Is that like a retreat?
It's like a hallucinogenic.
So you just get really messed up. So what happens? I get.
He goes to take
LSD.
The mountains,
and you take LSD. Is that what you do?
I wouldn't say it's LSD.
A natural form of LSD.
Yeah.
Okay. So not government controlled. People controlled. Ish.
Aaron Rodgers took some ayahuasca and won an MVP that season. So
you down to move? Give me a city. I don't know, up north. Anybody?
Owaska. Or
Kalkaska?
Oscoda.
Oscoda?
Oscoda.
Oscoda.
What do you think about you and I going to Oscoda?
Sure.
And taking some
ayahuasca.
Whatever the hell this is.
Well, I will not be doing that, but I will watch people.
Why not? Fish, I mean, we could see the future together. Think about that.
I have thought about.
Imagine you and me on a Sunday watching the Lions game.
Ooh,
have no idea what's going on.
Well, I don't.
We should show up to the show.
Oh, boy.
That's what we should do.
Oh, God.
We should take some and show up and do our show.
Oh, my.
Imagine that.
Oh,
God.
You and I. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be Adam
I
and
don't
Fish.
know if my job would be happy. I think you actually would hit me with
I think
baseball
after
bat.
that moment of tripping together, you would never make fun of him again.
I think if Fish and I bonded by tripping, I think that
Can't
would
we
be
bond in
special.
other ways?
I think it'd be very special.
Can't bond in other ways?
No,
We
because
can't
I don't
start-
like you. But if you got me drugged enough, I could like you. I could find it in me.
We had it with going to your house watching USA play, and
What is it?
we were gonna watch USA play at your house. That
Fish,
was that's a
I
start.
can't stand you
That's
sometimes.
better than
All right,
LSD
all right.
and
Listen, this is a no
or
judgment zone.
Kalkaska.
This is a no judgment zone.
Yeah,
Fish,
don't judge
I
me.
love you and I
Yeah,
admire
shut
you.
the hell up, Jeff. All right.
What did I do wrong
Here's what
now?
we're gonna
Keep
do.
the positivity in here. Sorry, Adam.
What happened to your hair, buddy?
I don't know.
Speaking
what
of
did
Okay,
positivity-
why you gotta
happen?
bring up negativity?
Oh, look who's talking.
Okay, positivity.
Me and Fish were having
I don't
a
have to
a
do my hair in the
conversation.
morning.
We were.
Me and
Good
Fish
one.
were having a
Mic drop.
conversation. Fish,
By the way, am I ever going to your house to watch soccer? Is that a
I'm
thing?
never going to invite you over my house.
Okay, that's fair
Honestly,
enough.
I don't think that's going to happen.
That's fair. I
Unless
expected
you
it.
tell me, I want to watch this game with you, Adam, I'm coming over. Then you're invited.
Well,
So you have to pick the time and date, and I will be there.
okay.
It's got to be on a Saturday or Sunday morning.
Well, after football season, of course. So in 3
Well,
weeks.
there you go. That too.
Well, yeah. Okay. That's fine.
So you tell me the day, and I'll be there.
Well, I would hope you'd be at your own house.
Yesterday we could have watched Chelsea and City, but you didn't invite me over.
Oh,
so
here
here
we
we
go.
go.
Hold on.
Anyways,
Oh, it
moving
was
on. We
during
got to
the
go to break.
workday.
When we get back, top of the hour, Ben Johnson hoped that it would click faster for Jamison Williams. Are you concerned with his development within the offense? We'll get to that and more coming up top of the hour. But before we go, I got to tell you about my good friends over at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. They took care of Jeff. They made him bald, and I'm very happy about that. And they also took care of me yesterday. So what are you waiting
did.
for? Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. No appointment necessary. Their awesome stylists will take care of you like they take care of me as always. So get to a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Hey, it's Sean Jordan from the Sports Marketing Agency. And SMA wouldn't be who we are without our amazing partners.
Thank you so much, Sean. You know, at Detroit Wayne, we want to serve as a resource for you and your families. We offer mental health services, substance use disorder services throughout our communities, and we want to be that source and resource within the community.
If you or a loved one are suffering from a mental health or substance abuse issue, please don't hesitate to call 1-800-241-4949.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Tell you about my good friends over at Matrix Home Solutions. They are your go-to for any home project, looking to build a man cave, looking to remodel your kitchen, your bathroom, your basement, you name it. They specialize in it. They get an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And you can check them out or give them a call at 888-594-8844 or visit them at matrixhomesolutions.com.
Thank you.
We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show, and as always, I
By
got
the
to
way-
tell you what.
I'm sorry.
he's gotta
I
do
didn't want to interrupt you,
Monroe
but
Minute.
shout out to Planet Fitness. They just hooked me up with a bagel. I'm spoiled. I am unbelievably spoiled.
You also-
just wanted to say that. Just wanted to jab that in you. All right, go on. Continue. Sorry about that.
Trying to work here.
Yeah, where's my bagel? I'm waiting until after.
Never
like
given
a
enough
real
love
Fish,
to
man.
Planet
honestly, nobody
Fitness.
likes
Come
you. I
on.
mean, that's really the reality. But anyways,
Oh, I knew
speaking of
that
people that don't
when I
like you,
was
for
born.
whoever does like you, I'm sure they want to take you down on Monroe Street, the Monroe
Can
Street
we-
Midway.
can we do that?
Huh?
Can we do that?
Bumper
Can we-
cars,
can we start
right?
that
Winter
together?
bumper cars, puck pot, indoor arcade. Nah,
That all intrigues
No.
me. Can we do that together?
I'm not taking you.
Why?
They have like Hawaiian Punch probably. That's what you can drink there.
I drink a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi.
They got a full bar, but I don't think you drink, Fish.
You don't
Which
think.
makes me sad.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because are you 21 yet? How old are you?
22.
You're 22?
Yeah. You knew this.
You're 22?
You went to We went to the Middle East place. Happy
I didn't know
birthday
that
with
you
the
were 22
people,
though. I thought you just turned like 18
and
or
I almost
something.
burned my hand.
I thought you were like underage employed. To be honest with you, he's
that
22.
Yeah, let's talk about Monroe
Take
Street
fish down to the
Midway.
Monroe Street Midway.
Yeah, let's
We're
go
back
down
here on the
there.
Morning Woodward Show live. WoodwardSports.com. Oh God! All right, Jeff,
How do you
Mr.
not
Bagel
know
Man,
the age of your coworkers?
Ben Johnson, Fish.
Every single
Fish.
person
We're
knows.
at Planet Fitness. You
Yeah, I
got to
know
stop
that.
because I can't say what I want to say to you. You know
Good.
what I want to say?
I do.
Stop
know
it.
what you wanna say.
Top of the hour. We're back. Jeff, Ben Johnson. Was hoping that it would click faster for Jamison Williams. He was hopeful that they could get him more involved. So I'm reading two things into this. One, when your offense is clicking the way it does, you don't want to force something. That's the vibe I'm getting, number one. Number two, whether or not he's picking up the playbook or he's ready, I'm not sure how I feel about it. But I want to know, are you concerned?
No. And for a couple reasons. Number one, we knew what it entailed when you drafted Jamison Williams. We knew we had to be patient. Everybody did. I knew the coaching staff knew they had to be. But the bigger thing, and the thing that you can't really put a time on or a specific timeline on, is Jared Goff and Jamison Williams, the connection they have. You just can't. So there's never a certain amount of weeks I expected Jamison. I wanted him to get the ball more and get more involved, but the actual connection, you saw last week against the Bears. It looked like he had a 15-yard in route, and Jared threw it slightly right behind him. And obviously that has to do with a lot of things. Number one, the chemistry they're trying to build currently. And the other thing would be with Jamison, his speed. And that's something Goff has to get used to. So I get Ben said this. I'm not going to look too much into it. They're going to be able to click. It's probably going to be next season, though. I mean, you have a game in Lambeau with everything on the line. I just don't see that scenario falling the way of Jamison and Jared Goff for Jamison to have a big game. But I get where Ben's coming from. Like, you expected him to come back, but circumstances you can't predict happened, and he didn't, unfortunately. He's only touched the ball twice, and I said this on the show earlier this week. He's touched the ball twice, and each time he's touched it, it's went for 40 yards. So the guy's clearly a big play threat. You just got to have some patience with Jared Goff and him to be able to be on the same page.
Yeah, look, he's coming off an ACL injury. He shows up so late into the year. They don't even use him the first few weeks. You see him against Minnesota get that touchdown last week against Chicago. He gets the end around, and he takes it 40 yards. That's all great, but he's more than that. And I think Ben understands that. And that's really, I think, where his comments are stemming from. I don't think they want Jamison Williams just running go routes. I don't think they want Jamison Williams running just end arounds and trick plays and catching teams off guard. I mean, this is a guy you expect to get 100 targets a season. This is a guy you expect to get 12, 14, 18 carries a season. This is a guy that's going to be hyper involved, Jeff. The guy that's going to be running out of the slot, out of the backfield, down the sidelines. He can run the digs. He can run your comeback routes. He's a traditional wide receiver. He's excellent. You picked him for a reason. And maybe the frustration, again, it boils from, you know what, we're not ready. He's not ready. We've been so caught up trying to get in this playoff hunt that maybe we took a backseat to getting Jamison Williams ready. I'm not sure what to read into it. But what I'm definitely not going to do this morning is I'm not going to sit here and have a conversation about me being worried about this kid. Kid's explosive. He's got the legs, got the hands. He's got the tape to prove it. He can run all the routes. I'm not worried one bit about Jamison Williams. He has the entire offseason to develop chemistry with Jared Goff, Ben Johnson. And if Ben Johnson can, if you want to say fix Jared Goff or get him to where he hasn't played at this level since 2018, I'm pretty sure he can do it with Amon-Ra. Oh, wait, I've seen it. I'm pretty sure he can do it with Jamison Williams, Jeff.
No, I think people don't talk about the wide receiver room enough when talking about Jamison, because me and Mike had Easy on the podcast last week, and we talked about that. And people don't understand, Khalif Raymond, talent-wise, Jamison is better than Khalif Raymond. But in terms of the chemistry that Khalif and Jared have built, the rapport, you'd much rather have. I mean, look at Khalif and how many big third-down catches he's made this year. On top of that, you have DJ Chark, who's played exceptional since he's been back. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, who we know Jared and him have a rapport dating back to L.A., It's where do you throw James? You have to throw him in at times, and they gave him opportunities. They haven't been able to capitalize on it, besides 2 plays, which went for a big chunk of yards. So I'm not concerned. I know Jared Goff, if he spends time with any receiver, i.e. Amon-Ra St. Brown or DJ Chark, that chemistry will be built. It's just about, Jameson Williams running probably a 4.25 if he were to run. The guy's incredibly fast.
Let me ask you this. Where do you think the Lions rank in terms of yards per game among all offenses in the NFL? This is without Jameson Williams.
Rushing and passing together.
Rushing, passing total,
I would
yards
say
per
top
game.
3.
Top 3?
Yeah.
They're number 3. Where are the Lions in points per game?
Yards per game?
Points.
Points.
You just gave me yards.
Top 3.
Top 4.
Oh,
They're 4th.
Right below. Okay.
They have a top 3 team in terms of moving the ball up and down the field. They're top 4 in scoring, and this is all without them even unlocking the potential of Jameson Williams. That is insane.
But that's the argument, though. So with an offense that's successful, why force?
Because it's successful because they don't key in on anybody. You
True.
know, we all consider Amon-Ra the one on this team, but he's not the one on the offense. And what I mean by that is Jared Goff doesn't draw back and say, where's Amon-Ra St. Brown? Now, maybe on 3rd down, it looks that way, but that's just a play call. On 3rd down, typically, you're seeing Amon-Ra be the number 1, the first option for Jared Goff. But you look at this team, Chark, Reynolds, Amon-Ra, any of the tight ends, Swift, Jamal Williams out of the backfield. It doesn't matter who. Khalif Raymond at times.
Right.
This offense is an offense. It's not about Jared Goff. It's not about Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's about the offense they've developed, and anybody they put in will have success. That's what they've built with that offensive line. So, yes, come next year, will it be a more explosive offense? Will it be a bit more difficult to game plan for? Sure, but it doesn't take away that Jared Goff, all he's being asked to do, is he putting you on camera when he's eating? You're such an ass. That's why you don't ask for a bagel mid-show, you jack.
That's why I do it after the show like a real person.
Thank you, Fish. What's wrong with you? Sickhead?
I would love a bagel right now.
You're in the middle of a really good point. I just see the camera cut to me in the middle of it. Oh,
Trying to work here. Trying to work.
That's
what can I do?
Shout
I'm
out to-
professional.
That's
I'm
on me.
professional.
The bagel's
Stick Day is
good.
a
What do I do?
tea.
It's
What do I do?
delicious.
Talk about the bagel one more time.
Bagels are
Raj
delicious.
is going to take your
I
seat.
do love bagels.
Oh, damn. Okay. Raj, I'm sorry. All right.
Jesus Christ. Trying to work here.
Adam, do you eat bagels?
Oh, dude.
I'm just asking
Okay.
a question. Why are you giving me that look? What? What's wrong with... I asked if you eat bagels.
Oh, dude.
Can we start there? Have a bagel after the show? Does that count?
Yes, Fish.
No. I'm going to have a bagel. You want to have a... No? Put some cream cheese on it?
Oh, God.
Okay.
I hate you, Fish.
Let me get this. Let me pull this train back on the rails.
Oh, you're going to do that.
Yeah, I had to eat my
Enlighten
bagel. I had
me.
a piece of my bagel. Now
Enlighten
I'm
me,
good.
please.
Okay.
Absolutely. One of the best in the
So
NFC right now.
We have some golf. We got some
100%.
golf supporters here. This man does get it.
They're in. They're in 100%.
We have
Even
some
if
some Lions
they
fans
need
down here
Seattle to
questioning
lose.
the scenario, how the Lions can make the playoffs.
They're out.
And he's a big fan of Jared Goff. So credit to him. He knows his stuff.
No. If Seattle wins, the Lions are automatically eliminated. No.
And
All right.
I'll say this too. So with Jameson, I want him to
I don't
get.
care.
I want him
I'll
to get
talk to
touches.
anybody. I
want
really
him to
don't
get
care.
touches, but I don't want to mess up the flow of the offense.
It's better
This
than
offense
talking
has
to
been
Jeff.
so successful even without Jamo. You don't have to force him in there and mess anything up. But hey, if you can get him the ball, get him the ball. Because in space, he's dangerous. He's a sports car.
Well, speaking of a sports car, I'm going to run you over with one pretty soon.
I better eat this
We
bagel
got to
before
go
I
to
do
break.
that.
When we get back, I want to go through the key matchups. We talked about this a little bit, but Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, this is where your priority starts. You are so mean. You are so mean. What'd I tell you, Jeff? What'd I tell you?
Hey, he's
You guys
loving
are
his
awful.
bagel. How do
You
you
guys
know?
are awful. I'm trying
I'm
to
gonna
work
get a
here.
bagel soon.
When we get back,
I want a bagel.
we'll talk about the Packers offense, what the Lions must do to have a chance at winning this game. That coming up. But before we go, Jeff, Mr. Bagel Man.
Yes.
Our good friends over at Sintra.
Let me tell you about him. Because you know what I need to wash this bagel down? A delicious
I did
Cintron, because it's the
not.
official energy drink of the Red Wings. Cintron has combined all three of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. You can pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box today at cintronworld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Market, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Well, let me tell you about our friends at Alta, because at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live. Jeff, how many bagels can you fit in your mouth?
Okay, how do we get...
How do you not?
Why we got to do that?
I'm asking.
How do
Why we
you
got to
not?
do that?
I didn't tell him to bring the
Where you
bagels to the show. I'm asking. It's an honest question.
Why do you got to go there?
How many bagels? 1, 2, 3, stuffing 4
I
in
feel
your
like
mouth?
any way I answer this question, it's going to sound how you think it's going to sound.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly how I want it to sound.
That's
You
why
want me to
you
rephrase
post
it? I'll be more direct. How many flannels do you have? How many flannels could you fit?
In my mouth. Hold on. Wait, what?
How many flannel Sams?
Could I
Yes.
do what with?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he knows where he's going.
That's
with
for his
this.
wife. All right, his wife takes care of that for
Whoa,
me.
whoa,
I don't have to- I don't have to-
whoa.
No,
That's not
me-
what we're talking about here.
What are we doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Where am I putting Flannel Sam? Where are we going with this?
All right, we're back.
Speaking of flannel, I do have a flannel. I should wear it one day.
Fish, where do you come from?
It's relevant to the topic.
Like where?
Where? Flannel.
Hey, yo.
Flannels. Are you not understanding life?
Can you sit up like a normal human?
No, I'm not normal.
And stop interrupting.
I'm not normal. You
You're
know
interrupting.
that.
Oh, you're sitting in a... Is that a palm?
Yeah, I'm basically sitting on my hand.
Are you...
That's a pretty cool chair.
It is a pretty good.
Look at you upgrading in life. We might have to get one for you at the studio.
Okay.
So you...
And then I'll have one personally that I can throw at you.
Sounds good.
Jeff, I alluded to this on Wednesday, and I think it's the most important thing about this game. Aaron Rodgers, I'm not going to say he's washed up, but he's not the quarterback we've seen over the last 2 years. A big part of that is because Davante Adams isn't there anymore, okay?
Right.
I think we all agree on that.
Right.
A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, that backfield, getting involved in not only the run game, but in the passing game, limiting the backs, in my opinion, is the game plan. I want to know from you, but to me, you slow down these backs. You make Aaron drop back and force himself to throw to Randall Cobb, who's his number one option in terms of trust.
Yes.
And then a Christian Watson who's been dealing with injuries the last few weeks. And then an Alan Lazard who's been inconsistent. And a Robert Tonyan. I like your chances there. But if you're going to let the Packers run the ball, get Aaron in play action sets. Get Aaron rolling out. That's where they're going to beat you, and you saw them do it against Minnesota, Jeff.
Yep, and you hit on it, Adam. When the Packers run the ball, 50% of the time, they are 5-0. That is the statistic. And on top of that, it's the ability to set up play action, to your point. If they can get Aaron Rodgers in situations where he's most comfortable, which is making the defense stay on their toes, right? He doesn't have a Davante Adams. He has Christian Watson, who's emerged, and he had a stretch where he had like 5, 6, 7 touchdowns in like 4 games. But more than that, it's the run game. That's where all the danger should alert the Detroit Lions. And they've done a good job. I mean, the last handful of weeks during this winning stretch, they've gave up a ton of yards against Carolina. and they've had a game or two where they've struggled, but for the most part, this defensive front has been great against the run. I mean, even go back to the Bears last week or go back to the Giants when Lee McNeil had that monster game. They have talent, and I think they have the ability to at least slow down the run. And if they could do that and force Aaron Rodgers to play in some passing sets here, you can get James Houston, Aiden Hutchinson running wild, and that's what you want. So that's the matchup I'm looking for, is the Lions front seven against the Packers offensive line in their run game, because that's what you have to watch. If the Packers could run the ball effectively and control the time and not allow, not put Aaron Rodgers in positions where he could turn the ball over. Because might I add, at Ford Field early in the year when you beat the Packers, they didn't run the ball. Aaron Rodgers led their team in rushing yards, which forced them to throw the ball downfield. Aaron Rodgers put the ball in harm's way at 3 interceptions, and that's already 3 interceptions. I think he has 11 on the year. So you forced 1/4 of what his total interceptions are in that one game. But still, don't allow Aaron Rodgers to be comfortable, because these young receivers, Randall Cobb isn't what he used to be. Romeo Doubs he's been all right. Christian Watson's the big one. So if they can slow down the run, the secondary, their job becomes a little more easier, and it's up to the secondary to stay intact, because it's a big test for them as well. You're going to have Jerry Jacobs, Mike Hughes, and Jeff Okudah probably out there. Kirby Joseph's going to have another big game, even on the road. So lots to look forward to, but it starts up front, Adam. I'm with you with that front seven.
That's going to be the key to the game. And then you look at the Lions. Honestly, it applies to the Lions, too. You're going to want to get the run game going. And if anything, the Packers' defense is much better than Lions' defense, especially over the last 3-4 weeks. So I'm looking at this matchup, and I'm asking myself, well, where are the Lions going to hurt themselves potentially? Well, you don't want Jared Goff dropping back as often as you saw him drop back against Carolina. Now, he played well, but that game was over and done with. That was really just Carolina running out the clock. But at the end of the day, you don't want Jared Goff coming out and having to make 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12 throws to start the game. You don't want multiple 3-and-outs. You want to get Jamal going. DeAndre Swift, can we talk about him? His performance on Sunday is what everybody holds on to. It is those performances, those moments, running the ball, catching out of the backfield. That's why people are so infatuated with DeAndre Swift, because when he's right, and Flannel Sam's called this before the year started, when he's right, he's one of the better backs in the NFL, right? And he gave you a glimpse of it against Chicago. Can he do that in Lambeau Field on the road? Harsh conditions, going to be cold. When you hit the ground, it's going to hurt. I don't know. But this really is it's almost an even game in terms of both teams know what they have to do.
Yeah.
And you know what both teams want to do. They want to establish the run and put their quarterbacks in play action sets. Because if both teams are able to do that, both teams offensively will find more success against the opposing defenses.
Yeah, and you just laid out the plan for the Detroit Lions and how they want to get their offense going. That's the same exact thing for the Packers. The big thing is going to be the inexperience for a lot of the Lions. They're impactful players. They're rookie players. They're second-year players. That's what I'm looking at. It's a big test for these guys, and it's a good measuring stick to see where they are right now. If these guys can show up at Lambeau and a James Houston, Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Pascal, Aleem McNeil, Malcolm Rodriguez, so on and so forth, Kirby Joseph, if these guys can play well at Lambeau, man, that's got to give you hope for the future, because you can argue they're way ahead of schedule. If they aren't ready to play, the season's still a success, but now you know, hey, these guys still have some work to do. It's going to be a good measuring stick to see where this team has progressed and to see where they're going to. So, lot on the line on Sunday, but this is what you want. You want to play in these, now not even meaningful December games, meaningful January games where you can make the playoffs depending on what happens with Seattle. So, it's just, as a Lions, someone who talks about the Lions and covers the Lions, this is everything I wanted and more. A chance to make the playoffs, last game of the season in Lambeau. I mean, you couldn't wrote a script better than this. You just couldn't. So it's going to be exciting, Adam. It really is.
All right, I have a question for you. No, it doesn't involve bagels. Jared Goff has been so good this season. And Carolina was his best game on the road statistically. We can't argue that. How confident are you in Jared Goff going into Lambeau?
I'm fine.
Because you know this game is not just going to come down to, oh, we're going to have a script and it's going to work out perfectly. That never works.
No.
Very rarely are you able to execute a script minute 1 and minute 60. Just doesn't happen. Things happen. False starts, holdings, penalties happen, right? Your player runs the wrong route. Things happen. How confident are you in Goff on the road to pull this one out for you?
If you look at Goff, out of all any player on the Detroit Lions, he has the most experience in playing in these type of games, right? He's played in NFC championship games. He's played in a Super Bowl. He's played in multiple playoff games. He's played in rivalry games. Like, Jared Goff is not really a concern of mine. It's more the Lions in total. Because if you go back to Carolina, yeah, the offense, they had to play keep up and they had to come from behind, but Jared Goff still played well. He had 3 touchdowns. The offensive line didn't play well. The running game, you couldn't get going. Like, there's other things with the Lions I'm more concerned about than just Jared Goff. I think people like to point the finger at Jared Goff because he is the quarterback. He touches the ball every time. But to say you're concerned about him going into Ford Field, or excuse me, Lambeau Field, I just wouldn't go that far. But you know what's fair to say is, the last time he threw an interception was
Green Bay at Ford Field, right?
Yes, you're right. And that was to Jair Alexander. So if you're concerned about the turnovers, that's real because this is a good defense. I mean, this Packers defense has forced a ton of turnovers over this 4-game winning streak. That's been the big thing about their defense, turning the ball over.
This game is all
that
about
I would be
how
concerned
do you
about,
get up.
but not Jared Goff's overall play, no.
This game to me is how often are you going to be able to get up after you get knocked down?
Yes.
Because the Packers are going to punch the Lions a ton, and the Lions are going to punch the Packers a ton too. I think this is a closer game than people are making it out to be. I don't think the Packers are just going to waltz in and beat down the Lions. I don't believe that at all. The Lions have a more than capable offense of dealing with this Packers defense. Now, what version of the Lions defense shows up? That's the wild card here, right? Are you going to get a Lions defense that gives up 30, 31 points? I'm not liking your chances. But if you can hold Aaron Rodgers to 23, 24 points, Jeff, I think you walk away 26-24, 27-24, 24-23. I think you can pull that number out.
And the Packers offense isn't an offense. Like last week, they scored 40 against Minnesota. That was a pick 6, special teams. Right. It's not the offense you're worried about. I'm more worried about Nixon, by the way.
Keyshawn Nixon?
He's a bad man. I think he has 3 or 4 breakaways for 50-plus yards on special teams. The Packers have always had bad special teams the last handful of years because of, they hired Rich out of Las Vegas, the interim head coach, last year, and he's a hell of a coach. But on top of that, Nixon, that's a bad man. And again, Packers are clicking on all 3 phases. That's where the fear with the Packers are, not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, over the last 5 games, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Like this Aaron Rodgers, listen, he's still a bad man, but he's not really the forefront of what you should be worried about. It's more of everything else. More so, for me, it's the defense.
Well, look, the Packers over the last 4 weeks, okay, they're riding a 4-game win streak. 28-19 against the Bears, 24-12 against the Rams, 26-20 against the Dolphins, 41-17 against the Vikings.
Yeah.
And they're hot.
But those games, those quarterbacks, talk about seeing ghosts. Tua, he was kind of concussed. He had 3 picks. But Kirk, seeing ghosts. Like, this defense has been just
everywhere,
suffocating everybody.
And you know what? I got to give credit to Jair Alexander to play that position in the NFL.
Yes.
And to call out arguably the best receiver in the NFL leading up to the game and saying, that was a fluke. That's not going to happen. Watch this. And for you to go out and basically shut down Justin Jefferson, to me, that's what a number 1 corner is, guys. That's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like. Now, he took Jefferson out of the game. Now, did the Vikings take themselves out of that game with a lot of the dumb stuff they did? Sure. But this is a Packers team that's riding a hot streak right now. They look good. They look dangerous. And if I'm honest, let's assume Seattle wins. Or excuse me, I apologize. Let's assume Seattle loses, okay? If Seattle loses, and who would lock up the 2 seed, the Niners or the Vikings? Right now, the Niners, correct? Let's say for some reason it's Philly or the Niners with the 2 seed, and Philly collapsed at the end, okay?
Yep.
Who would you rather play? If you're Philly or the Niners, would you rather play the Detroit Lions or the Green Bay Packers?
Oh, yeah, it'd be Green. I don't know. Maybe
maybe
Green Bay, but then they have that great defense. It's really pick and choose. Would you rather face the Packers defense or the Lions offense? But the Lions do have some young guys up front defensively that are dangerous. So that's actually an interesting question. I don't know. It depends on the matchup, I guess. if you have a team that is heavy pass, has a really good offense, maybe you want to face the Lions, but do you want to deal with the Lions' offense is the question.
That's the question.
That's a real question.
All right, let's take a break. When we get back, we'll go around the NFL. We'll preview what's upcoming for the weekend. Rams, Seahawks, of course, implications for the Lions. And then at 9:41, we'll get to my best bets, along with Jeff and I's game predictions, and, of course, Mailbag at 9:50. But before we go, Jeff, the best defense on and off the field.
Let me tell you about them. Yeah, Green Bay has a good defense, but it's nothing compared to Guardian Alarm because it's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them any time of the day or night. And know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as you need. They also have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Call 1-800
Stay out, Green Bay. Stay out. Bye.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
All right, let me tell you about my good friends over at Custom Health Centers. They've not only helped Kyle get down 38 pounds, they've also helped our very own Ryan Ermanni. I'm so happy for both of them. Give Dr. Jason and his team a chance to change your life. Give them a call, 844-789-8446. That's 844-789-8446. We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com here at Planet Fitness out in Southgate. To answer your question, Steve, Adam, what happened to the stream? Did Fish break it? If I'm honest with all of you.
Absolutely, I broke it.
If I'm honest with all of you, and I don't like saying this.
Burn
often,
it to the ground.
It was Fish's fault.
Yeah.
Fish was trying to sabotage the show this morning.
Absolutely.
Fish didn't want to be here.
Nope.
Fish was angry. He wanted to be watching cricket and soccer.
Yep. My team tied this morning. Anger.
So there you go. That's what happened this morning.
Imagine Fish legitimately upset. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Fish is half Irish. I think he can scrap.
Are you Irish?
Yeah. He's like 50% Irish.
You don't know what you are?
30% Malaysian and 20%,
what's your heritage? What are you?
I think it's Hungarian,
Oh,
Polish.
cool.
Hungarian?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do you not know Hungary, the country?
You're one of those, huh?
What?
What is that supposed to mean?
I have beef with people from Hungary. So
What did they do? I'm trying to remember.
no wonder
any
me and you
war.
don't get along.
Well, I'm
This
trying
makes
to-
sense. We're not going to talk
How did
about
I
what
not
they
know
did.
about this beef?
But
Like,
I'm trying to think of any. I don't think they were involved in
Well,
any wars.
I don't
or
know
anything.
geography. You don't know history. We don't need to talk about
I
it.
actually
Moving
do know
on.
history. I know
We
about
don't
the
need-
wars.
Shut the hell up.
You want to talk about World
Shut
War
it.
One?
Shut it. Zip it. All right. Moving on. Let's go around the NFL.
It's a
Jeff.
judgment. It's a judgment-free zone, Adam. All right?
No, it's not. If I'm here, no, it's not.
This little circle, it's not, but everything else is kind of a judgment-free zone. Adam gets the exception.
Aren't I
Fair enough.
outside the circle though? He just showed a circle. I think I'm outside.
Fish, do you remember the episode in SpongeBob where if you stood inside of
love-
the circle, the bear wouldn't kill you?
Heck yeah, I do. Love
I would kill
SpongeBob.
you if you were in or outside of the
Okay,
circle.
all right,
It wouldn't
so
matter.
here we go.
I love SpongeBob. I'm proud of you that you watched Round of applause for Adam. He actually watched a childhood favorite of everyone's.
Fish is giving you a round of applause.
Every single person knows SpongeBob. You look around the room,
Raj
all
is
the
even giving a
people
round
over
of
there know
applause.
SpongeBob.
Come on.
The guy TDing, Sam Stick Day, doing a great job, by the way. He knows SpongeBob.
Fish, mute your mic.
Half the people play
moving on.
SpongeBob.
Kansas City play on Saturday. They open up against on the road. Against the Vegas Raiders.
Yep.
Who do you got in this game? Do the Chiefs lock up the 1 seed?
Yeah, move on. Chiefs winning this one. They're taking care of the Raiders. Jarrett Stidham looked good, honestly, in his first start, but I don't think he does that back-to-back games.
All right, Tennessee at Jacksonville, division on the line. By the way, to everybody who supported Malik Willis, this is a big moment for you because Malik Willis is starting in an AFC South determining game for the Tennessee Titans. Psych! He's on the bench. He was benched for a guy that was on your practice squad earlier in the year, and Joshua Dobbs.
Gosh.
Congratulations to everybody who wanted Malik Willis at number 2 overall. From me to you, you know what I have to say. Can't say here.
You're not going to say it.
Fair?
Wow,
Josh
good
Dobbs.
for
Hey,
you.
by the way, Dobbs
Hey.
didn't look too bad.
He looked okay. He looked okay
A lot of
for a guy
receivers
that
dropped a lot of
didn't.
balls, but it's all right.
Moving on. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. This is a meaningless game. Tampa Bay already locked up their home playoff berth, so maybe they want to win and have a winning record. That's great, but moving on to the next game, this is more important. New England at Buffalo. Buffalo, the DeMar Hamlin situation. This is their first game in almost 2 weeks, their first game since the incident. A lot of emotions going to be going into that field at his home. If they win this game, again, if the Chiefs lose, you're going to be wondering what if. But I think this is a game the Bills win. And last I checked, the Steelers need the Patriots and the Dolphins to lose. And then Mike Tomlin somehow brings the Steelers into the playoff conversation.
Talk about turnarounds, right.
My goodness. So, talk to me about this game. This is going to be a tough one. It's going to be emotional.
And by the way, just to address what you just said, that's what I love about the 17-game season. It keeps teams alive just for one more game. But in terms of this game, I got the Bills. They have just too much to play for, and it's at home. So, think about the motivation these guys are going to have playing with DeMar Hamlin on their mind. They're going to want to go out and take care of business. The Patriots, good defensively. Mac Jones, he's been decent as of late. Give me the Bills, though. They're going to be hyper-motivated. They really are. And they're at home.
Okay, very cool, very cool, very cool. We got the Vikings at the Bears. Who do you got, Jeff? This is an easy one.
Yeah, this is an easy one. I think
this is for seeding, though, right? Because if the Vikings win and the Niners lose, that changes everything.
So I'm going to go with the Vikings here. After last week's performance, Jair completely shutting down Justin Jefferson, the Vikings are going to want to answer the call this week against the Bears. And what better to do it? The Bears, they stink. Justin Fields is playing banged up. Come on, this is a no-brainer. Give me the Vikings.
Did the Vikings play the Cowboys this year? They did. Who won?
Cowboys murdered on
The Cowboys won?
Yeah, like 45
Fun fact,
to 7.
if the Eagles lose
45-10.
and the Cowboys win, the Niners would have locked up the 1 seed and the Cowboys would have the number 2 seed. Insane to me. And the Eagles would fall all the way to 5 at 13-4. Insane. Insane. Anyways, moving on. Next game. Ravens, Bengals. Ravens, they already clinched the playoff spot. The Bengals, take it for what it is.
Probably no Lamar Jackson. He hasn't practiced all week.
I'm going Bengals in this one.
Yeah, I would agree with you as well. Give me the Bengals.
All right, a meaningless game. This is really for draft pick status. I kind of want the Texans to win this game. It's actually better for the Lions. Texans, Colts. I'm going to take the Texans because I'm biased, but if I'm honest, probably Colts
this
are going to
game,
win.
who wants to lose more? So
I think the Texans want to lose more.
So I'm going with the Colts. There you go. End of story. Moving on.
Oh, God. Jets, Dolphins. Dolphins looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. If the Patriots lose to the Bills and the Dolphins win, the Dolphins are in. No Tua? Can they figure it out, Jeff, against the Jets?
Yeah, banged up Teddy Bridgewater. I feel bad. Every time Teddy's entered the game, he's left with an injury. So, even when he's the backup, you need Skyler to come in and back up the backup. So, if Teddy's playing, I like Teddy's chances, but here we go with the Jets. They want to respond last week what they did against Seattle. Mike White struggled. This one's tough to call. I'm going to go with the Jets. I'm going to go shocker here. I'm going to go with the Jets. I think they beat the Dolphins. I know it's on the road, but without Tua, it's just I don't have as much faith in this team. I just don't. And I like Teddy Bridgewater, but give me Mike White and the Jets.
All right, I'm going to skip Panthers-Saints. It's a meaningless game. I'm going to move on to the Browns and at the Steelers. Browns at Steelers. This is a big one. Steelers win. The Dolphins lose. Bills lose. Or, excuse me, Patriots lose. Somehow, someway, Mike Tomlin has brought the Steelers with one of the worst rosters in the NFL to the playoffs. I find that fascinating. I'm going to root for the Steelers in this game, Jeff.
Yeah, listen, the Steelers, the big X factor was always Kenny Pickett. How far can he string along and develop this season? More than that, they have a good defense. Micah Fitzpatrick, they have TJ Watt, they have Hayward. They have guys all over on defense. So really it's the offense. The offense has looked better. I like the Steelers in this matchup, even with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun just still doesn't look right. For what they're paying him, you're going to need a little more out of Deshaun Watson. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers at home to end the season.
All right, fair enough. Moving on, Giants, Eagles. This is a big one. Eagles need to win this game. They don't. They can fall as far back as 5. It's awful.
Right.
It's awful. Eagles got to win this game. It's at home. I think they do. Brian Dable and the Giants probably already looking ahead to the road game they're going to have to play regardless of who it is. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to go Eagles here, Jeff.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. They're at home. Jalen Hurts, questionable. You don't know. Maybe Minshew plays. Regardless, I have faith that the Eagles, just as a complete team, they can take care of the Giants. Giants are playing well, though.
I'll tell you a team I have no faith in, the Dallas Cowboys. They are 12-4 traveling to the 7-8-1 Washington Commanders on the road.
With Sam Howell starting.
Yep, and I think Sam Howell wins.
Are you serious?
Yep, because the Cowboys would lose this game. I'm telling you right now. This is a game that has Dallas Cowboys written all over it in terms of losing. The Cowboys will lose that game, and the Eagles will lose, but the Eagles will still win the division because the Cowboys blew it. I could just see it now.
Honestly, I can too. And you're kind of talking me into it. I'm going with the Cowboys. Making a mistake. We'll make fun of me on Monday. But.
All right, so this is an odd game. The 10-6 Chargers, they already booked their playoff spot. Seeding's already determined. At the Broncos. The Broncos are 4-12. People, you want Denver to win this game. You want Denver to win this game. The problem is, I think the Rams have the tiebreaker, right? Or the Broncos do. So their draft spot isn't changing, so it's a meaningless game. And then the Niners and Cardinals, again, a meaningless game. But if the Cardinals pull off a win, again, how does it affect draft position? Who knows? These are the last 2 games before we get to break and we start picking our taking our picks, okay? Seattle hosting the Rams. Jeff, walk me through this game. Who do you got?
So in this one, obviously Seahawks fans, they'll be rooting for the Chargers in this instance. They own the Broncos pick. I'm out on the Broncos. They're complete garbage. Give me the Chargers. They're getting healthier, and man, they're dangerous. They're getting Joey Bosa back. They're getting Rashawn Slater back. Give me the Chargers here. They take care of business, even on the road to Denver.
See, as much as I really want to believe that Sean McVay, Baker Mayfield, and the Rams can put together a game plan and make it difficult for Seattle, even with my bias and wanting them to lose, how does Seattle lose this game? How? How do they lose this game? How am I supposed to expect them to lose? I don't. I think Seattle wins. I'm going to be rooting for the Rams, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But Seattle wins that game. There's no way. There's no way. I don't see it. And then we'll go to Lions-Packers.
Hold on.
Our prediction's coming up. But I want to know before we do, Seahawks, Rams. What? What are you putting your fingers up for?
Give me the Rams. Baker Mayfield, take care of business, please.
Baker.
They only lost by, I believe the Rams lost by 4 points.
Fish has a better chance of getting laid than Baker Mayfield.
They lost by 4 points with Matthew Stafford, and he was struggling all season. Baker Mayfield, this team has some electricity going through him. Take care of the Seahawks. Speaking into his existence, give me the Rams on the road.
All right. Let's take a pause. When we get back, my best bet's coming up along with Jeff and I's prediction for the Green Bay-Detroit game. Yep. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Big Boy.
Well, Big Boy, let me tell you about him. Because wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. You can try the classic meatloaf or Cajun chicken Alfredo. But if it's early, try some breakfast as well. They got the stuffed potato pancakes, the Lumberjack Santa Fe Garden, the Blockbuster. You could stop by your local Big Boy today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com. And this is one of my favorite times of the week.
Why?
To give you guys my best bets.
Yeah, I don't know why. Your bets
Why is it your favorite time of the year?
have been kind of struggling lately.
Please elaborate.
Look, I want you to win, okay? I do. But if I look at the numbers that you give us...
Is 64% not good?
Well, it's good, but when I see like 2 and 3 and 3 and 2 every week, I don't.
You know what 3 and 2 is?
It's 66%.
Winning money.
That is true.
There's been 1, 2, and 3 week all year.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this: you're trying to get the people winnings, right? Like 5-0, 4-1. You're trying to win people money, right? That's the goal. Yeah. That's the question. Is the goal to win people money, Adam? Yes or no? I'll answer for you. Yes. That is your goal, to win people money. And you put significant money on some of these games. So I'm trying to help you help the people win money.
God, give me patience with you, Fish. All right, moving on.
I'm trying to help you. I hope you know
Here are the
this.
5. Shut the hell up, Fish.
All 18 weeks of the National Football League season, I've been trying to help you. I want you to win as much as I want the people to win.
Hey, allow Fish to help you. Let him inside your heart.
Fish, you make the picks this week.
Okay, you want to make some picks?
Yep.
Okay.
Give me 5 games.
All right.
What are we betting on this week?
All right. I'm going to disappoint people.
NFL.
That's fine. I'm going to disappoint people because, sadly, I want the Lions to win. Look, I have their hat. But I'm going to go Packers. Sunday Night Football.
What does that mean?
What do you mean, what does that mean?
You have money line, the over, the under. What are you doing?
Packers money line. It's Aaron Rodgers, Sunday Night Football.
See, this is why we don't talk to you, because to bet the Packers money line right now, you'd have to bet $240 just to make $100. It's not worth it.
Do I want to win or do I want to make money? I want to win and make money, but this is one pick of 5.
Hey, Fish, I love you were trying.
Packers, Aaron Rodgers, Sunday Night Football. He doesn't let you down in big games. He's not going to want to miss the playoffs.
Did you just mention Aaron Rodgers in big games in the same breath?
Yeah, it's a big
I don't think
game,
those
it's a
two
playoff
correlate.
game.
I don't know if those two, like Aaron Rodgers plus big games equal,
Oh.
like it doesn't,
Yeah.
there's no.
Well, but
What are we doing?
not in playoff games. This is a game to get to the playoffs. Once he gets to the playoffs, he'll go down
Fish,
again.
I love you, Fish.
But it's Aaron Rodgers. It's a big game to get to the playoffs. He will show up, unlike the last time we played him where we murdered them, thank goodness. Yeah, trust, I want the Lions to win. But
Is this
I just
Fish's
know
bets? Is he
they're
leading or
not
what?
Gonna win.
Yeah, I'm letting Fish take the floor right now. What's the next bet, buddy?
Let's take the Rams over the Seahawks. I do think the Rams will win over the Seahawks.
Okay, what else?
I think the Rams are, Baker Mayfield, he'll throw some passes.
So I'm talking about Fish.
And the Seahawks will collapse, giving the Lions a chance to win on Sunday, which they hopefully will.
Are you done yet?
Well, you wanted me to pick the NFL.
I need one more game.
Okay.
He gave you an underdog. He gave you the Rams.
Let's
Wow.
go. What do you want from me here?
No, I want bets.
I'm
Last
giving you
one.
them.
Adam is heartbroken right now.
Colts. Oh no, Browns. Browns over Steelers.
What about him?
Browns over Steelers money line. Browns are going to beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh on Sunday. You laugh at me for that, but you do the same picks with your underdogs. You pick your underdog every week, and I respect that. I just picked an underdog. Browns over the Steelers.
All right.
And you're going to
Here's
laugh
what we're
at me
doing.
for that.
Here's what we're doing.
I gave
All
you
right,
what you
people, I'm
wanted.
actually going to give you my bets now that Fish is done being a dumbass. Moving on. We're going to start with your brownies. Steelers to cover the 2.5. Give me the Steelers even money, minus 2.5. Give me the Jets underdog money line. That's one of my favorite bets of the weekend at Miami. Robert Saleh and the Jets take care of business against the backup quarterback. The Las Vegas Raiders coming off a very impressive performance against the Niners. They'll cover against the Chiefs. I don't think they'll win, but give me the 9.5 points against the Kansas City Chiefs. Give me the Raiders. Give me the Titans to cover 6.5 points against the Jaguars. I think that is going to be a close game. I don't think the Jaguars will beat them by a touchdown. I think the Jags win, but you are not beating a Mike Vrabel team by more than a touchdown. It's not happening. Give me the 6.5 to Tennessee, and then 14 points. I get 14 points this week with the New York Giants. Are you kidding me? How do I say no to that? How?
Right.
I'm not saying no to it. Give me the Giants. Plus 14 against Philly. Philly will probably win. This is going to be a game where both teams are running the hell out of the clock. They just want to get to the playoffs healthy. That's it at the end of the day. Fish, just shut the hell up.
I wrote him down, so hopefully I'm right.
Good. Moving on. Jeff, Packers, Lions, who do you got?
Better hope I don't go 3-0.
This hurts my soul. It really does, because I hate Aaron Rodgers, and I love that the Lions are in a position right now to semi-control their destiny. Just beat the Packers, and whatever happens in that Rams and Seahawks game, it is what it is, whether you make the playoffs or not. Just go beat the Packers. But at the same time, as Lions fans, it's hard not to fear this game. You already thrown out the record. Lions are 1-8 in primetime games.
Sunday Night Football all the time.
And Sunday Night Football, excuse me. The Packers have looked better. Defensively, they're turning the ball over consistently. They're clicking in all three phases. The Lions did that previously, but it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And something tells me Sunday night the Packers are going to win. But the Lions are going to stay in it for a majority of the game. And despite what happens, the result, whatever it is, Lions fans are going to be excited with the season and how it unfolded.
And who did I pick?
But I'm going with the Packers. I'm sorry, I'm wearing an Amon-Ra St. Brown jersey, but I'm putting my analyst hat on.
I can't believe for the final show of the season, the final show of the regular season, the most important game of the year, I can't believe I'm the one picking the Lions. And give me the Lions to win 26-24.
Wow, close.
Upset in Lambeau. I think the Lions are a problem for this Packers team.
I hope you're right.
Now, do I think they'll pick off Aaron Rodgers three times? No, I don't. Do I think it's going to be an easy game? No, I don't. I think it's going to be very close.
Right.
But I'm sorry. I don't think Aaron Rodgers and that offense has more solutions for this bad defense than this very good offense in Detroit has for that very good defense in Green Bay.
Right.
So I'm going with the offense here. I'm going to ride Jared Goff in the offense, Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell. I think they get it done. Josh Pascal, James Houston, Aiden Hutchinson, they've come alive down the stretch. I'm looking forward to this game. I'm going to go Lions, Jeff.
And you know what? Maybe it is partially me trying to do the old reverse jinx. I'm going to pick the Packers. I did that early in the year, and the Lions
just don't bet your hair on it, okay?
No, well, I got nothing left to bet. So the Packers, to me, the biggest thing is turning the ball over. If Aaron Rodgers does not turn the ball over, the Lions are going to have to find a way just to limit him, and it's tough. You're on the road. The big thing for me is this defense for the Lions. How do they respond, even to a subpar offense? A lot of things that go into it, but I'm going to go with the Packers. I'll say 27-24. I think it'll be close. I think the Lions stay in it. I think there's going to be a call from a ref or something Aaron Rodgers does just to put a nail in the coffin.
We're going to mute your mic.
Oh, boy,
that literally sounds just like Maz right now.
The referees, Aaron Rodgers, put the nail in it. I don't know.
Slurp on a milkshake while you're at it. My God.
Not the refs.
Aaron Rodgers is so good.
Is he not good?
He's a bad man.
Well, he is.
He's still a bad man.
No, Maz is somebody I would love to punch one day, but I can't because I love the guy.
Okay,
Moving on. We're going to take a break. Fish, shut the hell up and mute your mic. We're going to take a break. When we get back, mailbag time. Get your questions in the chat. Jeff and I will answer them. But before we go, Jeff, do your job for once. Tell everybody at home about Swiss Insurance.
Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Many businesses choose a 1/1 effective date. Swiss can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give them a shot and you won't be disappointed. Reach out to Mark at swissins.com for more information.
By now you know me, Christina Schnurry, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com. as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Tell you about our friends at Chili Peppers Tanning, because it's where you'll find all the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. You can join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations and more on the way.
Chili Peppers
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show, live at woodwardsports.com. Planet Fitness out in Southgate. Beautiful location, beautiful people. Awesome staff. They've been so kind to us since we've been here all day.
Absolutely. They gave Jeff a bagel. How do you not? Great staff. I'm propping up the stuff.
Fish's facial expression. Oh. For anybody who didn't just see that, Fish just chucked a hat at Adam, and now he's wearing it.
It's
now
a normal size hat.
Now I'm Fish.
So it should.
I'm Fish. I'm Fish for the next 10 minutes. You're Adam. Go.
Hey, Fish, I'm going to tell you to do something very mean. That's not what I call it.
My team lost in cricket.
They did. Well, they tied.
They tied.
Yeah, that was pretty
I'm mad.
disappointing. Yeah, I'm a little bitter.
Go ahead, Fish. The lead mailbag.
Okay.
You're me.
All right, well, let me pull up the chat here, and we're going to answer some questions here from all of you lovely folks at woodwardsports.com. Jeff, you want to go first?
Want me to pick one out for you?
Some questions, sure.
Let me grab one. Patty Grimes says Jeff lost his confidence in the Lions because he had to get his hair cut. Not really, but at the same time, didn't Aaron Rodgers just cut his hair? So maybe there's something to do with that. I still hate Aaron Rodgers. It's still greasy, by the way. He might have cut it off. It's still disgusting. But no, that's not why I'm picking the Packers.
Are you going to ever invite me over your house?
Who? What?
Talking to me?
Why are you?
I haven't really decided yet because you've been mean to me lately. You've threatened to hit me over the head. You've threatened to do some harmful things. So you have to gain my trust, Fish. You got to gain my trust. Okay, mailbag question. Can we get a guest appearance from Maddie and Adam? Will you ever...
I can't hear you.
Okay, cool. Can we get a guest appearance from Maddie and Adam? Will you ever refer to the Lions as our team instead of your team? Jeff, you want to answer that?
What'd you say? It's hard for me to hear you from here as it is. What'd you say?
Can we get a guest appearance from Maddie and Adam? Will you refer to the Lions as our team instead of your team?
I don't refer to them as my team. I would love for any of you to pull a clip of me ever saying my team. Never in my life will I ever say that. Having said that, Fish, shut the hell up.
How many sacks did the Lions get?
As many,
how many
I don't
sacks?
know, probably 3 if they're lucky. Jesus, I'm going to end up in the hospital because of this kid.
Hey,
Moving on.
We do have Flannel Sam. You know, you can just...
What does that mean? What is he, a doctor?
Hey, here's a fun one.
If you don't want me, you just whoop, swap.
Hey, here's a fun one, guys. Jordan asks,
he's about 50 feet over there.
Fish, it's mailbag time, buddy. Jordan asked, what's the best game day food?
Pizza and wings.
I was just, okay,
Pizza
Fish,
and
we're on the
wings.
same page.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Oh, you were going to say nutcrackers
Some
and fried fish?
I do like fish and chips. I'm a fish and chips guy. I love some fish and chips once in a while. But I'm weird. I love ketchup, so I dip my fish in the ketchup.
Who is in Adam's top 3 Pistons? Are you talking currently or all time? All time? My top 3 Pistons. That's hard, Stick. That's hard.
I'll go
Isaiah 1.
Yep. Like top 3 or your top 3 favorite?
My top 3.
Oh, yeah. Then go, yeah.
I'm going to go Isaiah 1. Ben Wallace 2. Dennis Rodman 3.
So we have the first one correct. We have the same one.
It's mine.
No, I'm saying I meant like similar. Similar first one. No, we have the same list essentially. I have Isaiah
Flannel
Thomas.
Sam, Ben doesn't even make the top 15.
Isaiah Thomas.
And I don't want to not
Ben Wallace,
credit Joe Dumars, but
Chauncey Billups.
Oh. See, I think Rodman doesn't get enough love. Rodman was the
Now,
most...
if we had a top 4, Rodman would be 4. But we only did top 3.
Yeah. Yeah, Rodman was special, man. I don't think he gets enough credit. And it was my favorite, not the best 3, I think. The best 3 all time, I mean, it's got to be Isaiah, Dumars, and Ben. I don't think you can debate that. Those are the 3 best Pistons ever. So, you want to... it's tough. Yeah. Even Lambeer deserves some love, too, so that's a tough one. All right, now let's see what else we got here. Rodman is the all-time rebounder. Great sideshow. Yeah, he was. My goodness, he was quite the character. Rip Hamilton is my number 1. So you guys are just young, I think. Anybody probably under 24? I'm 28. Old enough.
Hey, what do you got to say to anybody under 24? I want to listen. What did you say? I'm curious. What was the comment?
Me and Jeff are both in that age bracket.
What is the show today? What is happening?
Hey,
what is happening?
Most of the stuff wasn't even us. It was
Fish,
from you.
I was not talking to you.
Fish, you say something back to this guy, all right? You give it to him.
I'm going to go watch sports news now. And I'm giving you the floor. Carry on. Yeah, about 5 minutes, 1.5.
Oh, my God.
This thing's going off the rails.
Oh, my God. Question for all of you, actually. Overrated, underrated? Bill Lambier.
Underrated.
Okay, so in the whole room, just so everybody knows, everybody's saying underrated. Yeah. I agree.
Underrated.
Underrated, underappreciated, too. I mean, he was just as important as Isaiah was during that stretch in the mid-'80s, but moving on.
Yeah, way before his time.
What are you guys' most memorable Detroit sports moments? Wow, excuse me. So I'm going to go based on how long I've been alive, not the all-time Detroit sports moments. So since I've been alive, I'm going to go the 2008 Red Wings Cup. That's the big one for me. Pistons are a close second in 2004. That was a nice one, but I was still a bit too young. I was only 10 years old. So I'm going to go with the Wings one because I was old enough. I really embraced it. I was watching every game minute to minute. For me, that's it for me. I'm only 28, so what the hell do I know?
We have the same. Mine would be number 1 being the 2004 NBA Finals with the Pistons.
Really?
Yeah, because that season, Mom had season tickets. Like my brothers played basketball, so basketball always meant a lot in my household. So it'd have to be that. Number 2 would be in 08 when the Red Wings won. So we're on the same page.
Fair enough. How about the Lions winning? Oh, the
Which
Maglio.
one?
Yeah,
Oh,
Maglio
yes.
sending him to the World Series is a special one.
Yeah, that's up there too.
That is one of the few sports moments I vividly remember my reaction, what I was wearing, where I was, like everything. Well, that sounds like a you thing to do.
I want to know, and I wasn't there obviously, but Barry Sanders breaking 2000 because Maz was there when he did it.
Yeah, I was too young.
I can't imagine.
That's
that
like for
atmosphere.
my dad.
I can't imagine
that
that
against the Jets, wasn't it? And Aaron Glenn was the corner who tackled him the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right. Adam, do you think... you know what, Jesse? No, we're ignoring you. Well, that's it for us. Appreciate you guys. Thank you to Planet Fitness for having us out here. It was an awesome time. Check out Big D Energy coming up in a bit. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, Flannel Sam, of course. Yeah. Flannel isn't as annoying as Fish, so if you want a more enjoyable show, I think you should check out the 11 o'clock show. Having said that, that is it for us. Adam Baydoun, Jeff Iafredi, as always.
Love you, Fish.
Fish,
Thank you.
Love you, buddy.
The legend.
Oh, thank you.
You probably will die after the show.
That's fine. I'm prepared. So
Good. Accept it.
I will. I have that.
So if you can live your life more freely. Packers Lions coming up on the weekend. We will be hosting a pregame show 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. on Sunday. Myself, Booner, Jeff, and Fish. Shut the hell up. Maz and the whole crew. We'll be there for the Sunday pregame show, and we'll be live from Stick's house
I can't
for
wait.
a live watch-along
I can't
for the
wait.
game. That'll be a first. We can't wait. That's going to be fun. Till Monday, Jeff and I will see you. Take care, guys.
Bye. Go
Make
watch all
sure you
sports.
download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.